What's up guys, Toasty here, Get Burnt. Today I'm going to bring you guys a video talking more about J-Star's Victory Versus. So, I actually haven't talked about J-Stars in a very long time, but I was going on YouTube and I actually saw Cloud's video about his first impressions of J-Star's Victory Versus. I'll link that down below for those of you who haven't seen it, and I kind of wanted to give my little thoughts into a hat just to tell you guys what I think about it, and wanted to see what you guys think about it as well. So, everybody was really talking about J-Star's Victory Versus Plus a long time ago when it was actually announced, saying that they're going to be adding new characters and adding a whole bunch of new stuff to the game, including the arcade mode that's mainly been marketed for J-Star's Victory Versus Plus. And now people are very disappointed because they have not seen any real improvement over the PS3 version. So I own the PS3 version of the game, and honestly, I really do think that this coming out was not as great as I was expecting it to be. I was at least expecting a jump to 60 FPS only because there were other games that came out on the PS3 that were not 60 FPS before and that were released on the PS4 with a remaster for 60 FPS, like The Last of Us, for example. The Last of Us ran at 30 FPS, and in high populated areas on the PS3, it dipped in frame rate down to almost 20 FPS. And then on the PS4, it's a solid 60 on The Last of Us remastered. And I was assuming that the same sort of thing was going to happen with J-Stars. But sadly, there was no real upgrade in terms of the FPS and in terms of all the other stuff, and mostly the graphics as well, because the graphics themselves, from what I've heard, have not looked that much better, and from the videos I've seen, don't look a lot much better than the original game. And honestly, I think it's a missed opportunity for them to have made the game a little bit better, and I think that it could have maybe been taken to a route where it would have actually been very nice to play it on PS4 at 60 frames per second, because, you know, I think that J-Stars is a fun game, and I think that 60 FPS would have been a lot better for it, at least the PC version. But you know, that was probably asking too much, probably because, you know, PlayStation users want to get like kind of crossover games. But honestly, I really thought that they would maybe throw something like that in, but they didn't. They only really upscaled it to 1080p. They're putting it on the PS4 and they're releasing it here in the US and Europe. Now, honestly, for those of you people who are saying it's a ripoff, I don't really agree with that though, only because even though I own the PS3 version and I paid $60 for it, technically I didn't get it in my country. It wasn't released in America, and it wasn't released in English at all. And obviously the J-Stars that we're getting is in English, and for those of you who are saying it's a ripoff, it's really not a ripoff, because, you know, probably Namco, when they thought about having this made, they probably didn't think of the people who got it as an import. Like, let's say Dragon Ball Z Super Extreme Shippuden. Let's say there was going to be an English version of the game made maybe next year after the game releases, like this summer. So let's say that we were going to wait an entire year, but then when the game actually came out, it had the English voice acting and everything like that, but people said it was a ripoff because they already bought the imported version and they're making the new version the same price as the other version when it came out. I don't think it's a ripoff. I think it's because, you know, when you're importing something, it's not really like you're doing it by normal means. You're getting it off Amazon or whatever site you use to get your imported thing, PlayAsia, whatever, and you get it from Japan. So you're getting the Japanese version of the game. Obviously, some of the consoles that we play on are not region locked, and that means that we could play games from any country, which is cool, but I mean, really, we're not really getting it by normal means, so I really wouldn't expect Namco to put it into thought like, oh, these guys got it imported anyway, so let's decrease the price. They're assuming that a lot of the people in America haven't gotten the game because it's imported, as well as because it costs more money than the original price in Japan. It costs more than $60 to import the game because you need to have shipping costs, and it obviously takes a little bit longer to get to you because it's coming from Japan. So honestly, I don't really think that it's a ripoff at all, because, you know, it's like the same sort of thing that has come out since 2013 when the game was actually released. Now, I do think that they could have done a lot more with it in terms of the visuals being upgraded, the FPS being upgraded, and maybe a whole bunch of other stuff. I haven't seen if the frame rate still drops when buildings fall out and stuff, because in the original J-Stars Victory Versus, we actually had a lot of frame drops whenever buildings would fall. It would probably drop down, I think it was like 25 FPS, and it was kind of annoying, and I hope that's fixed in the PS4 version. I know they're fixing a few things like character balance, and they're also fixing like one thing where, well, they're also fixing the frames, the invincibility frames when you get up, because that was a really big problem for me in J-Stars, because, you know, when someone would get up, you'd have to wait at least 2 seconds before you can hit them again, which kind of left a little bit of a gap in the combos. So, you know, I'm glad that they're fixing those things, although I do think that they could have spent a little bit more time actually fixing J-Stars up a little bit more, maybe making it 60 FPS, so maybe then it would actually work a little bit better. Now, obviously, I'm not a game designer or a game developer. I don't know how FPS in games really work as much. All I do know is that there have been other cases, like The Last of Us, that have been 30 FPS on the PS3, and then when they were remade for PS4, they were 60 FPS. So I really think that we could have had the same sort of thing here with J-Stars, but it didn't happen. So I don't know. I know a lot of you are going to probably have some really strong opinions about this. I think that it's still okay for me to get J-Stars because, you know, it's coming out in our country and I'm going to want to play it on the PS4 because, you know, I don't really like turning my PS3 on a lot. So, I mean, really, I'll just play it and I'm going to probably enjoy it because, you know, I enjoy J-Stars, play with my friends and all that stuff. That's really what the main use of this is. It's coming out in the US and Europe for the first time. And I'm actually glad because, you know, we really don't often get these sort of games over here. So it's really nice that we're going to be getting these sort of games like the crossover games and all that stuff. Hopefully we continue to get more of these in America. But yes, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you guys enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like down below as well as subscribe if you are new. And tell me what you think in the comments down below about J-Stars Victory Versus. What do you think about it coming out with only English subtitles and still the same price as it was when it came out in Japan and all that stuff? And yeah, I really want to see what you guys think. Tell me what you guys think in the comments down below. I'll see you guys later with more Dragon Ball Z and any other kind of anime usually, I would see. I don't know. But I will see you guys later. Have a nice day. Peace out.